Oh, we're live. Oh, you made it just in time, man. What the fuck is this timing? Where'd you go, man? I thought I was gonna have to do the intro alone.
Welcome back to the podcast that we're doing. This is episode 2 of the podcast. No Good Podcast. Why is it called No Good Podcast? Because there was no good names available. Haha,
dab on that.
That's kind of true. I looked for so many names, okay? I had so many ideas I really liked. Mm-hmm. And I looked it up and I was like, no, that's way too close to that one. Yeah. Or like, oh, that one's taken, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, No Good Podcast, that's so basic. No way that no one's taking it. And then no one's taking it. So
I like this name. I think it's great. It's like, it's great. You don't want to be here. This isn't a good place.
This isn't a good podcast. We got like...
We missed the last Sunday.
Yeah, because Markus was sleeping and I was like, I don't know if I feel like it. But it was mostly just that I forgot about it and then you asked me and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was already like 1 hour past or whatever.
Yeah, and we were like,
Yeah, it was it was an situation.
This is not the good podcast. This is the no good podcast.
You don't come here for a good podcast.
You don't come here for quality. You could go to the Super Mega Cast. You could go to the official podcast. You could go to
Walmart.
You could go to IKEA. You could go to...
There's so many places you can go. Isn't the world just amazing?
You can go anywhere. Why are you here? Get the fuck out of here.
Like...
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway,
we don't want you here.
We want to go back in time. We want to go back to when we were kids, you know?
So we built like a time machine, basically, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and we killed a lot of people just to see what would happen. You know? Just to see what changes it would bring. Anyways, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of dumb shit. Because kids are dumb. And I was dumb when I was a kid.
Let me tell you, I was a dumb kid. I'm sure you were also a dumb kid.
Yeah.
We know.
I was a dumb kid.
We know.
And I want to talk about stupid shit that we did when we were kids.
Imagine if you were a good kid, like, not a dumb kid. Then you wouldn't have any stories to tell. Like, how boring is that, right?
Like, what are you, a good person?
Good people person. Don't exist.
Oh my god, that's I peed so hard right now, but don't tell the podcast. Anyways,
that's live. We can't really erase that. You know, it's already out there. Yeah. It's probably being spread around like 4chan already.
We're live streaming this? I thought we were just recording and editing.
No, we've been live streaming this for the past 20 episodes. It's been live. It's been happening live.
Wait, so people know about the orangutan pussy?
They know about a lot of stuff, man. You're not careful with what you say on here. I've always been, you know, I'm trying to stop you, but you just keep saying these things that you shouldn't be saying live, and you know it's really I can't control it.
You know, I mean, I might get the gun later, but anyways, so one really stupid memory I have from when I was a kid was when I went to America. I was 10 years old, okay?
Boy, I like
10-year-old me. And I was, but we stopped in Amsterdam and slept there for a night. That was nice, you know. We got on the plane the next day, and I looked around, and I was like, there's a lot of people there. This is a big plane. And I raised my right hand up in the air, and I go, Heil Hitler! And my mom goes, oh my, Fabio! And she sits me down, and she's like, why? And I'm like, oh.
Oh, it's so perfect because you got that hairline too, and you have black hair.
Yeah, I have black hair too.
It's like they would have been like, wow, that's a descendant of Hitler. Why is he doing this?
God, I just want to know why I said that. And then the funny part to me is that I used to have crazy OCD. So when I sat down, I whispered 3 times to myself, because I had to think and say things 4 times. So if anyone heard me whisper Heil Hitler 3 times in silence, that would make them like I would think that I was gonna blow up the plane. You know, if I heard someone whisper Heil Hitler very quietly, I would be like, oh god. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so we got this Nazi as the guest on the podcast. His name's Friels, y'all. Say hello
Who's
to him.
Nazi? Oh, hello. Hey, I'm totally a Nazi. So what about you?
So I lived next to this huge ass fucking construction yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then me and some guy I never talked to. I never talked to him after that. Okay, after the incident, pretty serious. Not really, but I was hanging out with this guy, and I don't remember whose idea it was, but we were like, let's break and enter this fucking construction site, you know? Let's just fucking get over the fence. I don't know how we did that. I don't remember if the fence is tall at all, but we got in there somehow, and we were like, oh shit, damn. And I like stepped, there was this like glass pane laying on the ground that was like broken, and then I was like, wow, let's break this some more. So I like jumped on it and shit.
Oh, I remember now.
There's like fucking crazy ass glass shards everywhere. It's fucking scary and shit. And I'm like, let's break this shit. So I just jump on it like repeatedly, and then I like stab myself all over my feet. And there's like oil or whatever there too, or like I don't know, like weird ass fucking liquids that are super dirty. And I just remember I was standing in the bathtub, and mom and dad were like removing glass shards from my feet and shit, and there's like, you see this black liquid just mixing with the water and the blood. Yeah, so that's something I did.
Did your parent do you remember what your parents said when you came back?
I don't. It's very vague. I remember that one scene very clearly though, with the bathtub.
Yeah. You were standing there in shame.
I never talked to that guy again.
Was that the first time, or is it just like...
I don't remember. I think I remember who it was, but it doesn't make sense in my head.
Okay.
I don't know who it was. I think I know who it was. Either way, I don't talk to them.
Can you say his name or address? Like,
I don't remember his name.
It sounded really genuine. I don't remember, man, but if I did, I would tell you right now.
I would totally give you like all this personal information. I would share. We're not live, right?
Yeah,
you could just edit it. You could just edit this out so no one hears.
Oh yeah, of course, I'll edit it out.
Yeah, he lives on. No.
He lives on. That's how you say addresses in Norwegian.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I remember this one thing where it was me and then a buddy named Michael.
Dude, I had just a thing with him too. I jumped into like a thing.
He had been bitten by a dog while he was at someone's birthday party, and it was like a bad bite. Like that was, I remember he showed me, and I thought it was scary. And one day he was visiting me. He was like, let's go to that house. The house with the dog, man. I'm gonna show you. That dog's crazy. And I'm like, and we're going there? And he's like, yeah. I don't remember. I don't know why I agreed to it, but we went there to the house.
You're probably curious.
Red house, yeah, I guess so. And we snuck into the garden, and we were like, huh. And he goes like, I don't see the dog. And we go closer and closer to the house, and we see like a little dog house, and we're like, I don't think it's in there. And then he walks closer, and then we just hear like this wild ass loud barking, and a huge ass dog comes running towards us. And my first instinct, was obviously to run away. So I start running, but then Michael falls like in a fucking horror movie, and the dog jumps over him and like claws at his foot, and he screams, and I run to him and I pick him up and I run away. And I take him take him back home, and we're both like, "What the fuck?" That was so. Why did we do that? There was no reason to go.
War flashbacks, dude.
Vietnam.
Michael lost his leg that day. Still remember it so clearly.
Michael and I, we were an alpha company. God, yeah, I don't know why I went there. That was really fucking stupid.
You shouldn't get bit, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you shouldn't agree to. Pro tip: don't agree to going to dangerous places. Let's just go down the Michael path. I got a story with Michael as well.
All right, man.
I think I was sleeping over at his place. And there was like we were like going out. We're going out. No, we were playing outside, and there was, there's like the sewer. There's like a sewer stream going like in right next to the road. I don't know what you call it, but it's just like pure sewage and poop and shit and disgusting things. Okay, it's not nice. And I was like, Or I think Michael was like, he just jumped over it and it looked really fucking badass, and I was like, shit. I was like, damn, that's so cool. I want to do the same thing. But when I jumped, I got like half my foot, like my back foot into the fucking shit, and I dragged my foot out of there. It was like stuck kind of. It got like sucked in. It was so fucking disgusting, and I like dragged it out. It's always my feet, man. I think it's because I'm so tall. It's like I'm being clumsy. But yeah, it got like sucked in, and then I like dragged it up. I had to use a lot of force. And then my shoe just it was gone. It was just gone from my foot. I was like, what the fuck? I remember I started crying and shit.
My shoe.
I was like, fuck, my shoe, dude. Because, I don't know, I guess I was emotionally attached to that shoe.
You had a relationship, a loving relationship with that shoe, man.
And I was like, I went to his parents. I was like, we gotta find it. And I tried to find it for ages and we couldn't find it. I was like, yeah, Tim, I only have one shoe. We got Tim. What am I gonna do?
Great. Yeah, I remember that story now. I remember you telling me about the horrors of losing that one shoe.
Oh my god. Duh.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna keep going down the Michael path.
It still brings me
because I have two smaller stories.
Michael just tunes into the stream. It's like, what the fuck you saying about me, mate?
Yeah, that's what he sounds like.
What's he doing nowadays? Where is
He's in the military in Finland.
Oh shit! Okay then.
I don't know if he's still there, but I believe, I don't know, because it was like, because he's half Finnish, half Norwegian.
All right.
Or no, I think he's fully Finnish, but his stepfather was Norwegian. That's what I mean. Nice. But he lived in Norway, and Finland and Norway were like, I want him in the military. No, I want him in the military. And then he ended up going to Finland, and he told me, like, I don't want to fucking go back to Finland. I had to learn Finnish again. I was like, okay, sorry. That sucks. So, you know. Anyways.
Now he probably speaks Finnish. He's like, perkele, I shoot at the shooting range. Perkele, ei sä peittaa.
Yeah. Their guns say perkele every time they fire.
Yeah, it's like perkele.
Yes. But yeah, I remember he had a dog that really liked humping things. And this is important.
Oh, Taro does that. He humps his bed.
He had a trampoline. No, thankfully not. But he used to, if we ran away from him, if you ran away from him, he would run after you and then hump you.
Oh wait, he actually did that. I was joking.
Yeah, so Michael would like run away from it and then catch up to him and start humping him. And he's like, ah! And I'm like, oh man. And I was kind of scared of it because it was a big old dog. And I used to be a little scared of dogs back then because I got bit when I was very young.
Oh, yeah.
I got bit twice actually when I was very young. Anyways,
you can tell that story afterwards, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you made it.
So he was running, and we were both running, and I was like, I don't want to get humped by the dog. So I'm running like way faster than him. I jump onto the trampoline, and then he, keeps running around playing, and he's like, "Oh, come join me, come, let's have fun." And I'm just laying on the trampoline, like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And then I just laid there, and I didn't interact or participate, and then we stopped.
I remember me and Michael were playing The Sims 2 on the PS2, my dude. We were like addicted to that game. I showed it to him, he was like, holy shit. We played it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, man.
I remember I was at his place, we were watching Batman the Animated Series, I think, and we were talking about Lego Batman, and I was just like, oh yeah, I really like Two-Facke. And he's like, it's pronounced Two-Face. And I was super embarrassed. I didn't want to admit that. I was just like, haha, I said it wrong. But I just actually thought his name was Two-Facke. Because I didn't realize that C's sometimes are S's.
Haha, that sounds sexual.
Of course, that's what he said. One thing I also remember was that he had a really dope board game where you each had a castle. And you would like shoot you'd catapult each other's castles and break pieces off.
He never unzipped his board game for me, man.
Dude, that was such a cool thing. Holy fuck. I love that board game.
Damn. That sounds fucking cool, though. I played something like that in tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
But
that was in real life.
Yeah, dude, you would like actually
physical collision.
You would fucking feel the war. You would be there, man.
You would feel the battle.
Like, My castle is falling.
I mean, that's about it for like the Michael stories I can think of. I didn't do much else than, I mean, we played the fuck out of Halo when I was there. So much
Oh man,
Halo.
yeah, we played the
Oh,
Halo too.
we fucking Halo 3, man. That was the shit. I bought it again recently because I want to play through the campaign again because it's been so long. So I want to do that sometime. And yeah, and I love that about Halo. You can play through the whole campaign together. There's so many multiplayer mods and all the split screen stuff that they
It's
fucking removed from the
great.
later games because they're dumb. Halo 5 doesn't have split screen. Like, come on.
For me, Halo's that game that you play at friends' houses.
It
But you
was
never
until I
actually
got
own.
it myself. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, that's some funny little things right there. That's some funny little boy. I guess I could tell the stories about me being bit by dogs since we led
Yeah,
up to that before we move on
we're
to
in
something
that
else.
kind of topic
Yeah.
right now. It's very
So
topical.
the first time, I believe I was maybe 3 years old,
Old
and
school
we were
Fabio.
visiting my family in Spain, because I have some relatives there, and they had a dog, very creatively named Perro, which means dog.
That's
I'm pretty sure that
definitely
was
pretty
it.
clever, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was just a small little brown dog. He was like you know those dogs that are really long? I can't remember what they're called. And yeah, I was just petting him, and then he bit me, and I was like fucking
Oh, like
crying.
the hot dogs,
Yeah, like the hot dogs.
the sausage boys.
Yeah. So I got bit by a sausage boy, and then about, I want to say 3 years later, I think it was 6 maybe, my mom took me and my sister with her, and we were visiting someone who had a lot of pets, and one of them was a really big black dog. I was playing fetch with a red ball, and I just remember I remember that scene super well. Okay, it was summer. You see, like, it was like water way in the distance. It was a pretty open like area. It wasn't in the middle of the city. It was not too far away from Oslo, but it was like close. In front of me to the left was my mom and the woman who owned the dog, and they were sitting talking. And I was playing fetch, and I threw the ball. He came back with it. I took it out of his mouth and threw it again. We did that a few times, and then I like started shaking the ball in my hand, and he jumped up and like bit me on my left arm, and there was a lot of blood. Like I have a tiny scar from that still, and I was crying a lot, and the woman just did not do anything. She didn't even give a fuck that I got bitten. She's like, whatever, fucking kids. And my mom was like, this is serious. Like, I'm fucking taking him to the hospital, and then they just weren't friends anymore after that.
Understandable.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the 2 times I got bit by a dog.
I've never
By
been
2
bitten.
dogs.
Well, I mean.
So that's 3 scary experiences I've had with dogs, which probably contributes to the fact that I like cats more. I don't hate dogs though. I got a dog right now and a cat, but I like cats more.
He bites Fabio on the daily. So this one's a bit later in the lore. Okay, we had like or Fabio had like airsoft guns and shit, since he was the epic kid on the block, and I was like, wow, I come visit you, I shoot your guns, you know.
Yes.
And then I went there, and it was like it had like CO2 gas in it, so it looked super cool when you shot it and shit. It would be like, wow.
We'd be like, wow, gas.
Super.
Oh my god, the
Wow.
smoke. Oh, so realistic.
So realistic, high quality graphics. And then I was, it's stored in the magazine, the smoke or the gas. So I was like, what does this button do? I think Fabio was like, oh, that releases the gas. I'm like, all right. So I put it like, I like see where the gas is gonna release. I don't know why I do this. It's just my brain is like, oh, let's experiment with the human body. So I put the magazine on my thigh, pointing it like downwards into my thigh, like directly into it. And I have pants on, but they don't really help me in this situation. And I just push the release button, and this thing stores a lot of gas. Okay,
And it's very cold gas.
and it's like it just goes, and then it's so cold all over my thigh. I'm like, ah.
And I'm just standing there.
Oh, I'm like, oh shit, and I check the wound, and there's really nothing there. I'm like, all right, that's fine. And then like I want to say like a week later, but it might have been a few days. I don't really know. But then it started growing. Okay, and there's this huge fucking blob that just grows out of my thigh, It's like the size of two thumbs. Okay. It grows out of my thigh. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, Mom, what the fuck do we do with this thing? She's like, oh, okay. What the fuck did you do? I'm like, I sprayed gas into my thigh. What do you think? She's like, oh, obviously, I should have known. And then she takes a needle, okay, and she pokes this huge ball, and there's just water like flowing out of it, and then it's over. It wasn't that disgusting. It's just water. You know, it would have been worse. It was like fucking yellow sperm.
Yeah, demon sperm.
That happens. Don't shoot gas into your body.
Shooting. Yeah.
It's like,
don't do that.
It's kind of like a drug. No, wait. Now I'm encouraging it. Maybe you don't get high. Okay, so don't do it. I'm not saying you should do drugs because you get high. Okay, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I'm gonna salvage this to a relevant thing. What's your first memory?
Oh, dude, I remember this. Well, obviously, I remember my first memory. I mean,
because you remember, yeah. What's the first thing you remember? Oh, I remember.
I don't remember, man. I'm not really sure. So my first memory, I don't know why, but it's like it's confusing. Okay, it might have been a dream, but it was like a bird's eye perspective of the kindergarten, kind of, from a very specific angle. I don't know. And then I remember I had this crazy. I had a really cool helicopter toy, like a toy, and I was like, wow, I'm like the coolest kid right now. Everyone was like, holy shit, the propeller spins, wow, oh, that's so awesome, dude. And I was like, yeah, man, I felt like the fucking king of the world, okay, the sea king of the world, okay. And yeah, that's what I remember.
Uh-huh.
That was my only happy moment.
Anyways, so my first memory is of me being very dumb.
Great.
I was sitting in the living room. My mom's watching TV, and I'm like, man, the fireplace is really warm. I want to be closer to it. So I just reach my hand out and I touch the glass that's separating me and the fire, and I burn my hand, and then I start screaming. My mom takes me to the fucking hospital, and then
your mom has to take you to the hospital like all the time, man.
Yeah, man.
You should calm down.
And and I remember like the next day I was at the kindergarten, and they were helping me apply some sort of anti-burn cream type of thing.
CO2 into your thigh.
Yeah.
Using.
And I was just complaining about how much it hurt, and that's what I remember. That's my first memory. It's me burning the palm of my hand.
That's very cool.
That's very nice.
I just remember being the coolest kid.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. It's pretty epic.
Pretty epic. Do you have any idea what your first game might have been?
Oh, that was very difficult.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking a lot about that one lately.
Because like I think Dad's the one that introduced me to games. It's hard. I remember one beautiful moment though. Dad, you know when back in the day, you know demos, right? You had demos for games, so you could try them out. But like even further back than that, you had CDs with the demos on them. Okay.
Yeah.
So my dad had like, I don't know where he got them, but he had like so many demos, and he was like, choose one. I was like, whoa, choose one? What the fuck? I was like looking at them, and then I looked at one and I saw like a cute building on the other thing. I was like, is this like a city builder? Is what I was thinking. Like, can I build cities? I want to do that. I just saw this city and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of fancy. It turns out that was Civilization 4. My childhood game, and then I loved it so much. The demo, you could only play for 100 turns. I played it so many times. I loved it. And then I remember one time the research was like progressing way faster than other times, so I saw one unit I had never seen before. I was like, wow, a chariot. It was a chariot. I remember the exact unit. But it was a chariot, and I was like, holy shit, it's a chariot, dude. Damn. I've never seen this, and then it was like turned 99, and then it ended. I was like, whoa, I'm never gonna see that again. And then Dad bought the game for me, and I was like, there's so much more to this game than just spears and horses.
Yeah, that is true. For me, I'm not sure if it's there's two games that come to mind. The first one is Rayman 2 for the Nintendo 64, which I love Rayman. 3D platformers in particular. I love 3D platformers in general, but Rayman 2 and 3 are very special games to me. I played 2 a lot. My aunt owned it, and she owned the N64, and she would later give that console to me. So I own it today still. But yeah, I play the fuck out of it, and I play the fuck out of Rayman 3 when I eventually got that. But I'm not sure if that's the first one or if I played a PC game, because we had I'm not sure if it was a Windows 95 or 98 because they're so fucking similar. But it was one of those two, and we had a disc with like a bunch of small games on it, and one of them was some kind of hovercraft game. We would capture the flag. Hey, it's me, Fabio, or Real or whatever the fuck, and I just wanted to point out some things. Hover is the game I was thinking about. Hover with exclamation marks at the end, because it's totally rad 90s. And it was a pack-in game for the Windows 95, so yeah, that's where I got it from. But we called it the snowmobile game, even though it's clearly not snowmobiles. But I mean,
that's all you know in Northern Norway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was all it was. It was a very early, very basic 3D game on the PC where you captured flags, and that was it. And it looks very basic. But yeah, so those are two games that were like some of the first I ever played. And then I was introduced to Sonic, and then I fell in love with Sonic, and then I realized that growing up that Sonic kind of sucks. Did I trigger you?
My parents used to really restrict which kind of games I could play, so I wouldn't be allowed to play like very violent games or anything. But I remember I was playing Rayman 3 once, and you know these guys. Wait, let me see here. I remember I was playing, and then my mom walked by and she was like, "Is that a gun?" I was like, I don't know. Oh.
Hey, it's me again in post-editing. Haha. Just wanted to point out something funny about the hoodlums. See, in Rayman you have the red lums, which you get health from, but then, if they're disturbed, they turn into the black lums, called hoodlums. I'm not saying that they're racist, but that's... I don't know why they chose to call them hoodlums. That's kinda weird. Dude, I love those guys. They scared me a little bit when I was a kid, but they're like also really fun. It's so cartoony, even. Yeah, and they shoot like red energy balls at you.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even a little, and they go, so it's like, it couldn't be less realistic.
It's funny.
Dude, I love Rayman 3. I like Rayman 3 more than 2, even though I think 2 is like a little bit like, it's more consistently good than 3, but 3 has such a unique style and feel that I love it a little bit more.
3 is the only one that I ever played, so...
Yeah, I really want them to make a Rayman 4, but oh well. But yeah, so that's some early videos, you know what I'm saying? What about early YouTube? How did you get exposed to YouTube? How was that? What was it, you know?
Oh man, you're making me like... This is like a fucking brain test right here.
I'm your psychologist right now.
I gotta delve into my innards. I mean, I remember watching Ed's World like way back.
Hell yeah.
I think you guys showed it to me, and I was like, wow, Ed's World.
Yeah, man.
Rip Ed, though. Oh my god.
Rip Ed.
Dude, it's so fucking sad. But yeah, dude, it's very hard. I watched PewDiePie a little bit.
Yeah, I think I found PewDiePie when he was like 30. I think he had 33,000 subscribers.
Oh, really?
My sister was like, look at this Amnesia video, and I was like, haha, funny svid. You know, that's how it happened.
Yeah, I think I was around 600,000 maybe.
I remember, I don't know if this is the very first time, but it's very possible. But my sister walked up to me and she was like, look at this funny video. And I look at it, and it's the Muppet song with the guy that goes, mana mana. And the other ones go, do, 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 do. And we were like, oh my god, haha. And we thought it was so fucking funny. We watched that shit again and again and again. We thought it was the funny as shit.
That's what's
They
so
were
funny
so
about
good.
kids. They
Yeah.
they would like watch things like over and over and never get bored.
Yeah, man.
I used
And
to
so,
watch the same movies so many times.
yeah. So it was that one, and then it was the song with like a cat dancing. It goes, "Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance." And that was it. And it just, well, I mean, there was a little bit more to it, but you know, it was just that for like 3 minutes or something. And we thought that was so funny. We quoted it all the time. Those are like the 2 first YouTube videos I think I ever saw. Maybe that's early YouTube for you. But yeah, and then we started watching like Mystery Guitar Man and Ray William Johnson and shit. So that's a long time ago.
Mystery Guitar Man, dude.
He made some dope stuff, you know, way back when. I don't remember any of it.
Is he still around? What does he do?
I have no idea.
He made a movie?
What?
I don't believe this. He has 2.7 million subs, dude. Like nothing.
That was a lot back then, but
he's still uploading shit. 6 months ago, 2 months ago.
So not super frequent, but it's still around. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, he's not very frequent at all. 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago. Interesting. I can't believe he has that few subs though. He was such a big deal back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I swear everyone knew who he was.
I know, right? It's really bizarre.
He only has 2.7 now, and that's like nothing nowadays. That's like the top YouTubers back then. Insane. I'm not even subbed to him anymore. Big rip.
I've gone through like 3 YouTube channels, so I'm like, yeah, because I kept losing my shit, my passwords or whatever. So like I had to keep making new ones. Damn.
Ownage pranks, holy shit.
Oh,
that was a thing too. He's still doing shit.
That.
I know. I sometimes check in on him.
I haven't done that in a long time, but I used to laugh so hard at some of his videos, like crazy stuff. Yeah. Man, early YouTube was really funny because it was so different.
Yeah, it really was.
I would want Fortnite and Mark-Ass Brownie. I don't feel like there's too much more to say on early YouTube, really. Like I mean, I feel like I watched the stuff everybody watched back then, you know, like Fred and stuff, but...
Fred!
Yeah. But everybody just sort of, you know, disappeared, and then YouTube went through its kind of edgier phase with, like, Frank and iDubbbz and stuff, and then now things are kind of, I feel like, all over the place. I don't know, YouTube has gone in a kind of odd direction. There's a lot of douchebags on there now. I guess that's how it goes when anything gets popular.
I just went down a rabbit hole of Tribal Trouble, dude.
Oh, I
remember that game.
Yeah.
They're remastering it.
The first one?
Yeah, someone's remastering the first one.
Damn, that's kind of fun.
I don't think it's the original devs, but it's someone.
Yeah, no, I remember that game. I thought it was pretty cool. I really liked the wizard or shaman guy that you could have.
Yeah,
He'd
like
do
hero
like crazy
characters.
spells. Yeah, man.
I remember he had like a poison attack. That was fucking great.
Mm-hmm. That was a dope game. And then they made a sequel that was like 2D and weird.
It wasn't 100% 2D. It was actually, you had like a strategical view where everything was 2D, and you'd like build units and shit, and then the actual combat and shit would be in 3D.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know, I didn't get into it. It's a very obscure game, no one knows about it. Tribal Trouble Remastered YouTube page has 64 subs, so there you go. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Sub today, shout out.
Roller Coaster Tycoon. What a dank game. I love, like, Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 was the one you had. But, like, eventually I got Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I got really into it.
Oh, I had 3 too.
And, yeah. And then I got Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and I was like, I like this more than 3. Unpopular opinion, maybe, but I like it more.
I agree, honestly. I like the first one better than the third one.
I just don't like the third one that much. I don't know. It's too, like, weird, and it just didn't feel the same, and I don't know. There's something so much nicer about the older one.
Seeing an ad on television for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. And it was like someone launching their fucking roller coaster and killing the guests.
I love how that they know, because they know people love that shit.
Yeah, that's I think that was part of it that sold it to me. I was like, holy shit.
You can kill. And then Planet Coaster came out and it was pretty good. I played it maybe like 20 hours or so, and I was like, okay. And then Parkitect came out, and I never played it, but it looked very nice. It looked fun. But honestly, if I just get the itch to make roller coasters, I still play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. That's just my go-to. So.
Oh, dude. Sorry, but we have since shut down the project. At the moment, it's not a feasible business choice. We will be looking into revisiting it in the future. And then one guy's like, just release the game.
He's not happy, man. He's not happy. I want to talk about my boy, Sly Cooper. That was a good franchise. And the funny thing is, I played it in reverse because my sister won a contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean.
A contest on Jetix. Anyone remember that shit? That was a dope ass channel.
Jetix was like one of the good ones. Okay.
Jetix was fucking great. Love that. Sonic X.
Dude, I loved Sonic X. That was so.
I have it on DVD in Norwegian.
It needs to be in Norwegian. It can't be another language. I won't watch it in English. I'm only gonna watch it in Norwegian.
When I was like 12 or something, I found it on YouTube and I watched the whole thing. And in the third season, they go to space to get the heart of the planets or something, and it's fucking weird as hell. That voice crack, it was so perfect. But yeah, so that was anyway. So my sister won a contest, and we won Sly 3, and we got a copy of it.
That's actually so cool.
Yeah.
Imagine winning an actual Jetix contest.
Yeah, but yeah, so we so we pop that sucker in, and then we just get that fucking jamming tune starts playing. There's like, you see an island, and you see some guards, and you see Sly, his silhouette, and he's like sliding around doing some epic maneuvers, jumps, and then he fucking beats the shit out of the guards, and then he runs around talking to a bunch of people. And it's like, what is this? And the music is so smooth, it makes you feel like you're a god. I don't know what that meant, but yeah.
I think I had the second one. Oh, I can't remember it now. I'm so bad at like numbers. Like I'll know I've watched one movie in a series, but I won't remember which.
Do you remember anything specific?
You had that French level, and
that's the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the first level in the second after the introductory stage.
And there was the Asian level too. Yeah, it was like a temple
like Indian
in like a mountainside or something. Yeah, it was Indian actually. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's definitely Sly 2 though. But yeah, so but yeah, Sly 3 we beat it in Norwegian because and it was awesome. And then my sister was like, "Oh, we're totally gonna get Sly 2," and then we got Sly 2, played through it, beat it, and we're like, Sly 1, and then we played Sly 1, beat it, and it's like, whoa. And it's funny that we played it backwards and still bothered to finish them all, because like, in my opinion, 3 is the best one, 2 is almost just as good. It's so close for me, but I just like 3 a tiny bit more. Maybe that's nostalgia. I think they're equally good overall, but like, I just like the third one a little bit more. I know some people hate the third one, but screw those people, am I right? No, but I love the third one, love the second one, and the first one is very interesting because it's the second game, I believe, ever made by Sucker Punch. And right out of the gate, they made such a unique and strange and different platformer, and it was great. It's a great game, but it's fucking flawed up the asshole. I streamed it like half a year ago. I beat it in 5 hours. And it's just so like, because they have so many fucking dumb mini games you have to do.
5
like
hours?
We have to, yeah, it was 5 hours long. It took 2 sittings, and I beat it. But yeah, my problem with it is that there's so many weird mini games, like racing mini game. One we have to shoot a bunch of crabs. One we have to fucking light up a bunch of lights in the swamp. Like, there's so many shitty games that are really, really annoying inside of a game that's overall pretty good still. But like, goddamn, there's a lot of minor shit that I don't like in Sly 1. But yeah, that's the time way back when where shit was shit was whack, yo. No, but it was kind of the resurgence of platformers, and I guess they were trying to do something different, which they did with the main game, but everything else was a little not so good. Huh? I did write down fear or phobias, but I didn't really think that much about what to say about it.
Well, we don't have to. You just fucking
We don't-
book
well,
it. What's your fear?
but-
What are you afraid of, bitch?
Deep water.
Dude, I was gonna say the same thing. What the hell? That's like my biggest fear is the ocean.
Ocean man. Ah! But,
Yeah, every time that song comes on, I just fucking scream. I hate it.
every time you
so
hear the word
bad.
ocean, you just scream. No, but I was 4 years old and I was in Spain. I think I was 4, or was I 6? Something like that. 4, 5, 6. And I was on a little like crocodile thing that was like a blow up thing, and I was laying on it. Close my eyes, open my eyes, and suddenly I'm fucking way far away from shore. Now I'm like, shit, what do I do now? And I look down, I'm like, that's deep water. Really deep water. And I'm like, oh fuck, and I start panicking, and I fall off the crocodile like a fucking idiot. And I just like start splashing around, and I just look up, and I see the sunlight like becoming darker and darker, and I just can't fucking control myself until someone like grabs me and pulls me up and then takes me back to shore. And yeah, and I hate water. That's deep. Man. So that was fun.
I don't have any crazy stories. I just really don't like the feeling of not being able to see my feet and not knowing what's under me.
Yeah, like when you're way too fat and you can't see your feet. That was dumb.
I'm so fucking fat, dude. I can't see anything.
You're like the lankiest. You're like Waluigi, dude.
Oh shit, that's a
You
comparison.
should be
right?
Waluigi and I should be Wario on like, I don't know, some kind of event or something. We should
On
just show up as that.
steroids.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they stopped doing Desicon, dude.
Yeah, it's sad. I liked it. It wasn't like
I think they said they
you know.
might return, but
yeah, they did say that they didn't know when, but they probably will return. But it's still sad because it was the only thing like it in Norway, you know, the only kind of convention that's really just whatever geeky shit you want. And there was a bunch of cool shit to buy, and I always wanted to go, but the problem is that they always had it right after school ended. And it's like,
yeah, that was my issue as well. It's like
because when you live far away, it's like, how the fuck am I gonna get there? I know that their motto or whatever was like, oh, start off summer with a bang, but no. I want to see your shit, but I can't
need time
come
so I can calm down and start off
Exactly.
summer with bang, please.
Exactly. But yeah, I remember at DESCON, the first one I went to, I don't know how old I was, maybe 11 or something, 12, maybe. I don't know. It was definitely after we started playing Minecraft. Anyways,
Okay.
I remember you had that creeper helmet or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, dude, I was a Minecraft cosplayer. Hello?
Uh-huh.
You can get my autograph at the end of the stream. Just
Yeah,
meet me backstage.
My best memory from DESCON is when I was playing Street Fighter 4. They had like a bunch of arcade sticks laid out, and you could play Street Fighter 4. I was like, this game is so cool, and I really wanted to get into it. And so I eventually bought an arcade stick, and then I bought Mortal Kombat 9, which was the newest one at the time. I don't know why I didn't buy Street Fighter, but I just didn't, even though I had a Street Fighter themed arcade stick. I bought Mortal Kombat 9. I played the fuck out of it. I got really frustrated in the story mode. I played it a lot. I eventually got Street Fighter 4 on PC, and I played the fuck out of that too. And that's just where fucking fighting games started for me, man. It's thanks to DESCON. That's. Do you have any cool memories from DESCON?
I remember this one guy. I almost called him a bartender. That would be kind of weird. I was like 12. But there was this one guy. He was like, he was behind the counter selling like soda and shit. And 7-Up specifically. 7-Up just really brings me back to that time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he was like wearing my helmet and shit while I was drinking. It was pretty funny.
I mean, you know, that's a nice memory. We've been going now for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. That's a good length. It's a good length.
So I hear you don't like ocean.
The fuck is that?
What the fuck?
What is? Do you see that?
Dude, that shit freaks me out. What the fuck is
What the
that?
fuck is that? Okay, I don't understand.